Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. Now, there have been rampant complaints among mech pilots about an intense burning sensation in their cockpits, and after thorough studies, scientists have concluded the leading cause of this is the Hunchback 4P. So that's exactly what we're bringing to the battlefield today for our two drops, the Hunchback 4P. Right out of the gate, we spot an enemy cicada, and we're going to give him that burning sensation in his cockpit, and he quickly dives back to cover. He doesn't want any part of that. Now, I have been watching the enemy troop movements, and a group of them split off from the main force and came down the 4 line. So it looks like they want the high ground in front of us. I don't want them to have it, so I'm splitting off to the right, definitely out on my own, tip of the spear scenario. I don't want enemy long-ranged units to have that high ground, and I'm also very confident in this mech's ability to give and absorb damage. Here we found an enemy rifleman trying to come around the bottom low ground, and he quickly decides to change course. I throw up a UAV so that he's marked for my teammates. I see a couple of them are starting to push in and follow my lead. Now comes the tricky part. I want to pick my way through these rocks very carefully because I want to do right side peaks. That's where the bulk of my firepower is, and the rifleman is distracted by my UAV, and that allows me to get a couple of shots on his CT. And he's also now getting pressured by one of my light lance mates. I really want to finish off that rifleman, and I'm going for the center torso shot. It was worth the shutdown for the chance to take him out of the game. Unfortunately, I didn't get quite enough lasers on target. Some were blocked by terrain. He's one-touch CT, but now I can switch over to chain fire, dissipate some heat, and take him out of the game. There's our cicada friend from before, and he's got a couple of other units with him up there as well, including this summoner who has his back to us. So we'll get a shot on his back, opening that up as well. I'm continuing with right side peaks. Again, keeps my mech in cover, and that's where the bulk of my firepower is. Now I'm going to utilize chain fire here, just adding additional damage to the enemy units in front of me. I want to keep my heat down, biding my time, waiting for a better shot opportunity to go all in, like say the back of that Ebon Jag. That was nice and juicy, and we're able to get out a couple of alpha strikes doing massive damage to his mech before he pulls back. Now I have 2 teammates who are pushing in as well, and it looks like we are hell-bent on clearing out Fox 5, and I'm going to push in with them as well. Just a quick word to the wise, having the bulk of your firepower in your right torso means that UAVs can be somewhat problematic. Luckily, a teammate takes it down and we can continue our push. Looking at the summoner, he is heavily damaged, and if I can get out an alpha strike, I should be able to put him down. Coming around the corner, I get that opportunity. Down goes the summoner with a quick burst from us. So we have managed to clear out the Fox 5 area. The last unit is the cicada from earlier, and he is running straight up the Fox line. If I can get an angle on him and the proper distance, maybe I could sweep that open leg. I don't know if that'll play out or not. So as you can see on this mech, with having this many medium lasers, 9 of them, it is a healthy alpha strike. It is also very hot. So there are some things that you can do to mitigate that heat. You can go to chain fire, you can do groups of lasers to help mitigate that heat, or you could even consider dropping one of the medium lasers and adding another heat sink to help with any of the overheating issues you might experience. We've regrouped with most of our units, Fox 7 high ground, and it looks like the enemy wants to do a Fox 8 low ground push, including that Fafnir. I don't want to go toe-to-toe with him, so what we'll do is put out an arty strike and back off. Let the artillery do its work. There's our friend the cicada from before, and I know his legs are weak, so that's what I'm going to focus, and maybe we can sweep his legs. In between a teammate and myself, he is able to take out the cicada and finish him off. Now I'm diving back into cover a little bit because I'm expecting an enemy push out of that Fox 8 low ground area, and here comes something. It's not the assault that I was thinking, but it's a different assault, a king crab, so we're going to add some support fire to him, helping out our teammates as best we can. Left torso is open, but I can't quite get the angle to take the left torso on that mech. Now the score is 5-10. We are getting manhandled at this point, and I don't want to go around that corner because, again, I want to do right-hand peeks with this mech. And cutting up across the top, I find 3 enemy mechs, including a heavily damaged Mauler. I get a shot out on his back, and that's when the Supernova turns around and doesn't want me to continue working on his friend. I keep poking at the Supernova here to see if I can get any kind of work done on him whatsoever. He is open, but I've got to be careful of my heat. And there's just too many of them, not enough for me, and down I go. So we finish this one out with 2 kills, 746 damage done. Moving over to our next drop. This one has us playing Domination Mode on HPG Manifold, and I've managed to make contact with the enemy units. Looks like there's a bunch of them towards Echo 4, including the Irby up high on the ramp and a Hunchback down low in the mid-ground. He's got some teammates over there as well as some kind of an assault that I see, and I'm going to put my Arty Strike out and see if I can get some work done on that cluster of enemy mechs. Meanwhile, I'll keep peeking and poking with my right side just to get some damage done. Now, occasionally, you do have to change things up and do left-hand peeks just to keep the enemy on their toes and be less predictable. Now, our little urban mech friend has managed to stay up there on his ramp, and we can't have that. And unfortunately, now he's joined by a Corsair. That is a bit troubling. But what's more troubling is the fact the enemy team has gone up 4 kills to nothing, and if we aren't paying attention right now, we're going to be on the receiving end of a huge snowball, which is no fun. I'm going to back off the Arty Strike, and I want to get a slightly different angle on where the urban mech is peeking from on that ramp. I want to be in position so that if he peeks again, I can shoot him from an unexpected angle, hopefully, and mitigate return damage for what I'm going to do to him. Now, unfortunately, my ADD kicks in, and I feel the need to take down the UAVs, and that's a mistake because the urban mech has repositioned himself as well, and I wind up eating 2 shots on my right side, which is not good for my mech. Now, my return fire on him manages to take the right arm, which isn't anything of consequence on this urban mech, and he's jumping around being very evasive. Good for him. I finally managed to open up his right torso and then get the kill, but I have invested way too much time and too much of my mech to achieve a kill on a little Irby. Checking back into the center, we find our old friend, the Corsair. He is still up there. His left torso looks a little bit weak, so there is a glimmer of hope. Another glimmer of hope is the fact that my teammates have staged a comeback, and the score is now 5-6. So we've caught back up somewhat on the kills, and now we just need to take down this Corsair. He is open now left torso, so if I can capitalize on that, that will take down the bulk of his firepower if I can punch through that left torso. Now he's putting out an Arty Strike of his own because he doesn't want me peeking again, but I'm just going to wait for it to finish, and then up and over the top I'm going to go and see if we can get that left torso from our friend, and sure enough, there it is. So now he is minus the bulk of his firepower. He's half down, open CT. He's dropping down. We're going to match him and get some more work done on his center torso. He's got a couple of light PPCs left, and he's dropping down even further. We're going to go after him and see if we can take him out with some chain-fired medium lasers, and we do manage to get the kill on the Corsair. Score is now 6-9. We've fallen back behind the power curve, and this is where things start really falling apart. That's because I'm heavily damaged. I'm the only unit in the center holding the circle, and I do not want to push up the Echo line because they have a sniper up on the wall. In my condition, I would be an easy kill if I'm not paying attention. So I'm backing off from the Shadowcat who was trying to push me. I'm going to head to the basement. That will allow me to hold the clock for my teammates and keep me out of line of sight for any snipers that might be on the wall. So it is a bit of a pickle. Let me know in the comments how you guys would have played this situation. knowing that you have a nice, ripe, open center torso. Let me know what you guys would have done in the comments below. So now I'm in the basement. I am able to hold the clock. The enemy only needs 32 seconds, and I am joined by another enemy unit. And now we're going to have some hunchback on hunchback violence. He is also open center torso, and if I can get just a couple of shots on him, he should go down, and there's the kill shot taking out the other enemy hunchback. Now I'm still stuck here in the basement, and I'm sure I'm going to have more visitors here shortly, but I want to step out here and see if I can get my UAV up to get eyes on enemy targets, and that's when I get shot in the back. So something is over by the 4 door. Don't know what it is, but we're going to sneak around here and see if we can get eyes on him. I know he's over there, and if I can do a right-hand peek and get a shot on him, maybe we can get a kill, or at least do a good bit of damage. Our friend the Shadowcat from before, he is also open center torso. I'm going to Leroy Jenkins this one, see who gets their shot off first, and he manages to take me out. Unfortunately, my teammates do not make it back into the circle in time, and the enemy wins this one on time. Switching over to our end screen, we finish with 3 kills, 6 components destroyed, 841 damage done.